Hey guys, how's it going today? We're going to be talking about rot on decks and how to remove it. Right now, this is a common rot spot. It usually happens on crisscross, where the water is going to drip down the top of the deck. It's going to make its way into the back seam here. Being in lovely Canada, especially Manitoba, the constant fluctuation of plus 30, minus 50 in Manitoba. You're going to break your weather seal, the varnish is going to crack, water's going to get over time, it's going to fester. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this all up, and we're going to make a new rub rail. We're going to put it all back together the right way. So like as I talked about earlier, see you have the good old dry rot in here. So we're going through, we're going to test soft here, continuing through. So usually I like to cut from wherever just before the rot. That'd be ideal, and kind of go all the way to the back. Try to make it, don't do a small little piece, do like a decent size piece of wood, because you could do a small little piece with time, fluctuation, contraction, expanding. You're gonna have like a pressure point right here. So we're gonna go and we're gonna bring tools out and we're gonna start cutting from here, and we're gonna strip this, we're gonna clean this all down really nice, and look what the surface looks like underneath, okay? Okay, like one wicked tool that I love to work with, and every good wood boater should have, is I have a sonic cutter from Dremel, and it works really good. It makes your life easier. I think in the 1990s and the 80s, when my dad was working on boats, if he had a piece of tool like this, his life would have been a lot easier cuts, more precise. So the one good thing about the sonic tool is you can go straight in like a surgical cut. They have different types of ends for cutting and polishing and sanding. Honestly, it's literally worth its weight in gold for a piece of tool. Remember, when working with tools, you want to make sure that your tools are safe, they're good to go. Use tools for what they're intended to do, not for an idea that you think that might be good, but it's actually super dangerous. I know we all have those moments, but use tool as it's meant to do, okay? So we're gonna go into cutting out this rotten spot on the side of the boat. Okay, so we opened this up, we sanded it, we went going through, checking, removing all the silicones, glues, any kind of epoxies that were in there from over the generations of time of this boat's life. Coming through, we realized that there was some rot on the kingboard. So going back to our motto, if you're gonna do it right. We're going to cut the top kingboard and we're gonna replace from the top going to the back. Beauty of an old wood boat, as you keep on digging, you find things, but as you find them, fix them, don't let them fester. Okay, so we're just going to talk about one more thing. Before we go on to fashioning the new part, one big pet peeve of mine for working on wood boats, and I think it's common to all, when you buy something, a wood boat, unfinished projects. How did they get to unfinished projects? Well, maybe Buddy took on too much responsibility, he started opening up too many rat's nests. Kept on going, kept on going. Focus on one area. If you're working on the back of your boat, break your boat down into 3 areas, so 3 phases. You have your front phase, you have your middle, and you have your rear. Once you finish this side, move over, break it down to that area. Don't start a project if you are not ready or capable of finishing it. Because that's what happens. Guys start something, they open it up, they get overwhelmed, they move on to something else. Wood boat costs money, hands down. You can make shortcuts, but you're gonna pay in the long run. Don't start something if you don't have the financial capability or the knowledge, okay? Because that's how the boats end up in the boneyards, that's how they end up getting burnt. So break it down into my areas of responsibility, focus on that one area, get like sucked into it, get it done, move on. It's kind of like the whole saying about like the San Francisco Golden Bridge. They start painting it on the one side, by the time they get to the other side, they're painting it the other side. That's the story of a wood boat. So follow that logic of managing your expectations, managing your resources, and focusing your energy on certain areas. Don't open up too much. Okay, so we got this like just roughly tacked in here right now. So we got it kind of like cut down from the table saw. And now I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna try to kind of like smooth it out with the sander, get it a really nice surface, and it should be pretty decent. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay, so getting ready to wrap this up. We ended up going with Sikaflex 291 on the backside. We put some filler for like cleaning up a little bit of the imperfections in the wood. We'll let this cure overnight. Everything though is pretty good. The one thing I like to do is when I'm covering up any of the spots where I put stainless steel screws, I usually put like, I cut a bung. You can get a bung kit right off the internet. The tool looks like this. And try when you're cutting your bungs, like use the same kind of wood that you have for the piece of wood. It just matches the grain. When you're putting it on, line up the grain. I like to put a little bit of waterproof Gorilla Glue in to make sure it stays in there. After I come back with the sonic cutting tool, I set them off, I hit it with the sander, looks primo. So keep that in mind. Okay, we're gonna be wrapping up. So we've cut up the bungs, we've sanded it, we've reshaped it so all the contours look right. I put on the backside 291 Sikaflex to give it a good barrier behind. Also, going forward, we're probably going to put some 5200 by 3M underneath the bottom here to create a nice water seal. So when the water comes off, it's not going to soak back up and fester underneath. The hardware we went with was stainless steel. So the next thing we're going to be up to is probably going to be priming it. We're going to be standing on the top side. It looks fantastic. The client's going to be happy. If you have any questions or comments going forward in the future, just post it on our Instagram or our TikTok or our YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. This is Tyler at Killarney Lake Boatworks.